Dear Diary, April 19th, 2025, first entry. Entertainment purposes only. I recorded a couple more, but they had a lot of animosity in it, so I deleted them. Trying to make one that sound all right. I was doing all right. I was in a couple good days, and then their energy wants to sneak back in. But I'm calling them on it. We're getting it figured out. I am. But it comes down to, just how much am I going to keep doing this dance? They restricted a video and I appealed it and won, and they went back and restricted that same video again. And I appealed it and I won again yesterday. It's just an up and down with them. Silence and free speech, acting like you ain't got no free speech, but you can have billionaires spitting lies all the time. As long as it profits and promotes their economy, which is supposed to be our economy and promote us. But I have not seen any of them tariffs. Have you? They keep talking tariffs and the government rent. Yeah, back when we didn't have no voice, we didn't have nothing. We worked in coal mines and stuff and heads down and barely scraped by making a living and fell into a depression, a Great Depression. And that's fact. Where were our tariffs in? But that was right around the time that all that was supposed to be great, that they pushed. We got tariffed hard overseas because the U.S. tried to up tariffs. So other countries said, no, free trade. But they don't teach you that anymore. They teach you that everybody else is just unfair and against. But it's fact that the U.S. tried to do unfair tariffs. And that's fact. It's out there for you to learn. And that's why, we are tariffed. And the fact of we outsourced everything too. So everything went overseas. And our billionaires did that so that, they could crush an economy here, keep you under thumb, and bring it back in with no tariffs. That's why they want free market. That's why they promoted free market. That's fact too. That's all pure fact, not speculation. They made sure that there was no tariffs on anything coming back in because it was their product coming back in, and they were going to mark it up 300-400%, and you were going to buy it anyways. So why tariff it and make it to where you were going to buy homegrown stuff, And that's fact. But if we would have known that everything was marked up 400%, we'd have been buying from overseas distributors straight off anyways. And that's why they want to make everybody else the enemy and convince you that they're against us. They were never against us. Our own, store shopkeepers and all that were against you. They're the ones that marked it all up. That's fact, not fiction. That's proven. You can study it. You can find that information. That's fact. It's all coming out in the wash, all of it. So don't nail me on disinformation, But all that's fact, all of it. But I'm going to leave it there. There's talk of them shutting this app down, and they're going to do it now because we're finding out, and that we can get everything overseas and it's all marked up. So now it makes sense that they're going to kill it now, and that's why they were going to kill it before, because it's an informational highway to find out, by ourselves what it is that they're keeping from us, and that's fact, not fiction, not disinformation, but fact. It's proven. So we'll talk to you guys later. I hope you guys hang in there. I hope you choose free speech over wealth and over profit. I hope you choose human rights and the planet's rights over profit. I hope you choose to let things exist over your existence. That's what I hope. Hope you guys find your morality and your ethics and choose to use them over profit, over wealth. We might eat ramen noodles for a little bit, but let's make it to where they don't eat steak, because there's people eating ramen noodle out there anyways. Why everybody else eating steak, everybody else going to space, why they're starving people. I mean, we got people just draining money while they're starving poor people around here, talking about other resources when we can't even use the resources we have to take care of the society in which we created. That's fact, not disinformation. That's proven. The information's out there. Go find it. Talk to you guys later. Toodles.